Hello Cap. My name is Linda. I am your first officer today. Error. I can't recognize you. Check your speech recognition settings. I am ready for electrical power-up procedure.
vorher keine Ahnung von. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here speak your um, Twitch streamer Lima345678 and your YouTube streamer Captain William Movie Williams here today. We hear Movie Williams speaking here today on this stream on YouTube. I wish you a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. But in this local time where we are actually departing today is actually morning here in Atlanta. I wish you also a wonderful morning and a wonderful Wednesday afternoon for those people who are living in different time zone. But for me, it's actually Wednesday afternoon. I wish you a wonderful Wednesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today with another live stream flight. Today we are flying from Atlanta to Los Angeles. That will be a 4-hour and 70 minutes flight, and we're gonna fly a real airline flight because we are the Delta 575 on our flight number. This is a real flight number, a real flight because Delta 575 flying every day from Atlanta to Los Angeles with this flight number 575, and we do a real life flight here today. And boarding is actually not complete, so I starting from everything from the beginning. So the only thing what I did so far already is start up the cockpit here from cold and dark and make everything ready. So the only thing what we have to do is load the flight plan. So what we have to do is load the flight plan into the FMS and starting refueling the plane, and then start the boarding process. And I would say we are go straight ahead in the cockpit. Welcome on the 737. Welcome on the 737-800. Welcome aboard on the 737-800. And here we are in the cockpit today with my beautiful first officer Linda. This is an AI tool. It's very cool. It costs maybe 25 bucks, and it helps a lot, especially when you fly on VATSIM on online events, and the airport is very busy with ATC, air traffic controller. It helps a lot because you only have two hands, and that's why in real life you fly as I am the pilot flying today, and she is the pilot monitor. She does the checklist, but the problem is she doesn't can handle the ATC voice traffic. So I normally with the clearance, with the IFR clearance requesting, you have to talk to the controller, but she doesn't can handle this, so I have to do this everything on my own. But what she can do is very cool. She can read for you the checklist, do for you the switch button, so you doesn't have to do anything. She can do that, so it's much more handy and it relieves a lot of work. And we go first of all in the cabin. I want to show you the cabin very quickly. As you can see, it's empty, no passengers on board, and the plane is very light because we have no fuel and no passengers on board and no cargo. So you can pick up, here's seats. This is the original 737 cabin look. And when you go here, you can pick up here a nice wing view if you want. Or my favorite seat is on a little bit on the tail side, where you have a very nice left wing view as a passenger. So right now, as we saw, the cabin is very empty, and we are actually already started playing up. So the flight plan is already filed for VATSIM, but as we can see when we go on the VATSIM network, excuse me for that, as you can see we here on Atlanta. This is our Atlanta. This is our airport. And this is our flight number. As you can see, this is our flight Delta 575, and it is very quiet here. So no ATC traffic. Only there in Memphis there's a ground controller online here, but because many people here, that is original local time. So it's actually right now 7:10 a.m. in the morning in Atlanta. So in this time, many people are working. Especially on that time, and they don't have time to do VATSIM or whatever. But some people do have time on that time, but it's not all the time here. So this is our flight route. Yes, this is very cool. This is a new update on VATSIM radar. If I gonna click here, hold on a second, on our flight. It usually shows when I scroll with my mouse. Yeah, Here you can see the whole flight route that we take. We take off from runway 26 left today and fly and depart via the NASA 2 departure and to Yol, and then we're gonna continue here to the west, northwest a little bit, and then we're to the west. Yeah, and this is the whole flight route. A little bit more specific, I go here in sim brief. Yeah, this is our flight route. We're starting from Atlanta, runway depart from runway 26 left. As we can see, NASA 2 departure. This is our departure SID, and we're going to follow until to Yol. This is the waypoints for this departure until to Yol. And then here begins the actual route. We're going to fly to the west. We're also crossing, flies northway from Mississippi, and then also Kansas. As we can see, Oklahoma we're going to cross, and yeah, we also going to cross New Mexico, and then Arizona, and then we are entering Los Angeles. This will be once again a 4-hour and 70 minutes flight. As you can see here, this is all the flight details from our flight planning on our sim brief. So 4 hours and 70 minutes, and yeah, this is the whole flight time. This is real flight time. This is not a gaming flight time. So you're gonna fly, for those people who are new on this flight sim world, who doesn't have any experience. This is not a gaming time. This is real. You're gonna fly in real time, 4 hours and 70 minutes, just like in real time how you're gonna need for this route, plus minus with the weather except. But it's gonna cost with the actual weather that we have 4 hours and 70 minutes until we get to our destination airport. So 4 hours and 70 minutes flight, and I would say we are gonna straight ahead and yeah, load the flight planning. So first of all, what we're gonna do is Atlanta. And then we're gonna push our destination airport for CO route, which is Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray Atlanta to Los Angeles, and in our case that is a 01. Yeah, this is only for your file name. This is the file name in order to load the flight plan from SimBrief, actually from this filing page from SimBrief into our FMS. So when I go for CO routes, the flight plan, he recognized the flight plan that we actually wanted to fly, that we actually filed on our flight filing page. And yeah, we are flying from Atlanta to Los Angeles, and yeah, once again, sea route cross-check, Atlanta to Los Angeles, number 1. And we are entering our flight number. Our flight number today is the Delta 575. And we're going to enter that. Oh, is that correct? Okay, Delta 575. Yeah, Delta 575, and as he recognizes our departure route will be from, we're going to depart from runway 26 left. That is already correct, and we can activate and execute, and then the flight plan is already loaded up into our FMS. We have to do some settings and cross checks. Yeah, that is not so easy as you think. Okay, original. Okay, Atlanta to Los Angeles, cross check, then Atlanta to Los Angeles. The CO route is correct. Delta 575, 26 left. That is correct. Then we can check the route. We're gonna do here NASA 2 departure, and then via the YAL transition. And then we can minimize here from the flight plan briefing site, and we can check if everything is correctly loaded in. So after YAL transition, we are going via the airway Juliet 14. Then from Juliet 14, we are going to Papa November Hotel, and then direct to Alpha Charlie Hotel. That is correct. And from Alpha Charlie Hotel, we go direct to Alpha Bravo Quebec, as you can see here, and then from Alpha Bravo Quebec we go via Juliet 78, yeah, which is here, and then we go direct to from Juliet 78 we go yeah, we go to Delta Romeo Kilo, and then from Delta Romeo Kilo, which is here, we go direct to Gobble, yeah, as you can see, and then from there we are going to via the Hollywood 1 arrival transition, via the standard arrival Hollywood 1 arrival. Okay, so but we do have to do the settings here. So what we're gonna do right now is go back to route, and then we're gonna go entering departure, Departure is already set. The only thing what we have to do is the arrival. I realized that, so we just can also skip here on planned for later. I can show you what is it going to do. We can check all the route if that is correctly with every waypoint loaded in. And we go here, and we are today we're gonna land. So what it was our landing runway? 06. Sorry, 6 right. 06 right. We're gonna land on 06 right. And but our standard arrival will be Hollywood 1 arrival. Hollywood 1 arrival via the transition gobble, as you can see, and we're going to do here ILS 06 right. And yeah, he asked for the transition for the ILS. So before I'm gonna enter, so I already set it, but I didn't activate so far. So the next thing what I usually like to do is go to here to our screen pad, and we are going to what was Avitab, and then we go here airports, and we're gonna entering our first of all our Kilo Alpha Tango Lima, our departure airport, and Atlanta Harrisfield. Yep, that is correct. And now we have all the flight information. We need also charts. Yeah, airport. Yeah, in order to have charts, you have to in order to have charts here on the tablet screen, you have to access to Navigraph, and you have to pay for the charts, because this is chickpeas and charts. This is also the charts, flight charts that real pilot using, and you have to pay for that. Airport information we need for taxiing, you know, for taxiing. So as you can see here, we are standing on the ramp 4 gate, and yeah, our departure runway will be, so far I remember, 26 left, right? Yeah, 26 left. So we are standing on the ramp 4. So we have to, I guess we have, if in a case an ATC controller comes online, we have to facing, pushing back from the gate, facing to the north, and then we're gonna taxiing via entry for November, and then Foxtrot, and then Foxtrot 5, and then we're gonna taxi all the way on Echo to Echo 13, or the final Echo runway for 26 left. So we have to back taxiing all the way to 26 left. And I decided to do the ramp 4 because we are ramp 4 because we are very close to our departure runway. So this is the taxi taxi charts that we need. We need also the SID chart, which in our case is, we go back here, and then we are going to departure. And yeah, I have still problem a little bit to remembering, and we have the NASA 2 departure. So we're gonna scroll down here, NASA 2 departure here, and when we're gonna open, there is the SID departure route chart. So because it doesn't can straight out departure, you have to follow a standard departure route, and every runway have their own correct standard departure route that you have to follow. So also 2 is our departure. So as we can see, we are going to 26 left. So that means we go this way, so far as I remember. Snuffy, yeah. Which is this? Yep. So go Snuffy, boat, Snuffy, Bravo Delta, Oscar Delta Delta, and then NASA, and then from NASA we're going to JAL and transition, and then this will be the end of the departure route. So okay, this is the departure route. Now what are you gonna do? What we have to do is also going to our destination airport to open that. And for that we are going entering Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray, which is clocks. This is our departure, our destination airport. And first of all, we are going to set arrival. We are have the Hollywood 1 arrival, I guess was that. Yep. yeah, Hollywood 1 arrival. Hollywood 1 arrival, we're gonna do that. Hollywood 1 arrival. This is the Hollywood 1 arrival that we get here. So, yeah. We're coming from Gobble, Chill, Northern, blah blah blah, Milder, this waypoint, Hollywood, Brune, Alberter, Day, and what? And then from here, so the interesting part is right now we need to have 6 right, runway 6 right, which is so far from a sim brief. Our last waypoint will be then. Looks like Zebu. Zebu is our last transition waypoint for the last transition waypoint. I think that this is the this is the last waypoint of the standard arrival transition, Zebu. And now from here we have to go one more time on Clax, and we open we go back and we go open approach, and we're going to do the ILS or localizer runway 06 right. And yeah, we are coming into, he asked for us doing here the hold on a second, the transition that we have to use. We can also set we doesn't want any transition here. Then we're going to do a direct to Otis if we want. Yeah, I think we have to do here, I have to think about myself. Expect ILS or airnav. Yeah. Let me check here. 06, expect ILS or airnav approach for runway 25 left approach. Yeah, if you want to, yeah, in a case, this means in a case we want to land on runway 25 left, it can be happening if the weather is not good for runway 06 right, or the air traffic controller wants us to land on the opposite side of runway 25 left. We should expect ILS or airnav approach. This is only for information for us. But if we are at Cebu, we have to open here. What was that? Yeah, this is the Cebu. Where is the Cebu transition? Yeah, after Cebu, we can go via the Exert, or what do we have here? Via the Exert or FIM transition. FIM would be, yeah, with Fillmore would be here. But this, any of these doesn't, yeah, actually, yeah, is yeah, good for us, yeah, because otherwise, yeah, we're gonna fly a little bit more far away. Otis is actually 3,600, so we doesn't gonna use any of these. We're gonna say no transition. And yeah, that will be good. Okay, once again, Hollywood 1, we're going to do here, we're going to expect radar vectors for final. And let me check one more time. This is a little bit difficult approach. So from Cebu, yeah, from here. Yeah, okay. I think we have to use, because we are far away from that point, Cebu. I think we have to use, yeah, exert transition, and then we're going to use exert transition, yeah, and that would be much more better. Okay, we're going to use exert transition, but we also can use, yeah, if we want vectors for final, but we're going to use exert transition in that case, exert transition, and that would be good. Okay. So I'm gonna decide to do the extra transition. This is also correct, but yeah, it have a little bit more miles with our route distance. Okay, so next thing what we're gonna do here is we're gonna check here one more time if everything is correct with our standard transition and approach. One more time, a cross check here. So yeah, we have the Hollywood 1 arrival via the Gamble transition. and we're going to use the ILS 6 right for final, and we have the transition exert. That is correct, and then we're going to do execute, and everything is actually activated. So the whole flight plan is loaded in, and the only thing what you have to do is check it that everything is correct and do the rest of the settings of the CDU. And in the meantime, we can do that. This is very important that you stay on your departure timing. But anyway, we're getting delayed because I talk very a lot, and in order to start all the streaming stuff, to reset the streaming on the UBS, I lost a lot of time, and we're getting delayed one more time. But that is not a so problem because we have a lot of time here. The passengers will be informed for the delayedness here. Okay, next thing, what are we gonna do here is what I wanted is, to refuel the plane. Because we have right now less than 3 tons on board here. Actually, 2,800 and 2,980 kilograms exactly we have on board. So this is very, very, very no, this is not enough to get to Los Angeles. So we have to go to fuel and balance, and then we go to payload. And then we're gonna load here the fuel that we want on board, and then the fuel truck comes and fill the plane up. But we have to first know how many fuels we need. So here on the flight plan, it says for the trip fuel, this is only the fuel that it takes from A to B, from our destination airport, from our departure airport to our destination airport. It's 10.7 tons. But this is only for the route, but we need some extra fuel in order for takeoff and landings, and also for alternate airports in the case we can land on our destination airport, etc. And for all that kind of stuff. Or maybe if we're gonna have to, and also we need the reserve fuel also for go rounds. If we have a misapproach, we have to do a go round so that we have enough fuel. So all in all, with alternate airport, with reserve fuel for doing a go-round, we have a total fuel that we need for the full flight, 13.7 tons, so 13,776 kilograms. So we're going to enter that. 13,000, but I got to do a little bit more because of the APU, because after we have to start the APU, and I would say we're going to do for 100 kilo more, so 13,876, 876. So we have actually 100 kilogram more on board, so 13,876, 13,876, so 100 kilogram more, because our planet fuel is 13,776. And the reason because of that is, once again, because of the APU. This is a single engine. In order to start the engine, this is a single engine who actually also provides the air conditioning on board when the engine done running. It's a small single engine who is actually in the how can I say, in the middle, somewhere in the middle on the aircraft. It's a single engine. Without APU, without this single engine, it's not possible to start the engines. So, and this single engines also sucks some fuel, and I don't want to waste waste a lot of fuel. So that's why after we start the APU, and after we actually push back, we will be getting down from this 13,876 to 13,776. So that's why I always refuel 100 kilogram more for the APU. So 13,776, 13,876 is actually on board. That is okay. And then we're going to hit enter. And then we go click here right on fuel. And the fuel truck knows that. And then if you look out, we can see here the fuel trucker is already instantly on the being fuel and load the fuel on. Because in real life it takes a little bit longer, but the animation here, it's not doing in real life, it's doing instant, but that's okay. That is not really important for us to fly. The important is that we are flying is good. That is for us important. Alright, okay, refuel. It's refueling the airplane. As you can see here also, it's refueling the airplane, but the refueling time is in real life. It takes a little bit of time until the plane is refueled. So that gives us, in the meantime, until the plane is getting refilled, we can check if the waypoint is everything correct. Okay, one more time, 26 left. The first waypoint is, what I usually like to do is to go here, Atlanta, 26 left, and the first waypoint is Snuffy. And 26 left, as we can see here, and then intercept intercept the runway heading, and then Snuffy. Snuffy, yep, that is correct. And after Snuffy comes, yeah, we can also click here, sorry. Snuffy, yep, and then after Snuffy, the next waypoint after Snuffy, the next waypoint is Bidot and NASA. Bidot and NASA, that is correct. And the reason why we do this cross-check is even when you correctly load everything into the FMS with the SID, with the stars, and with the with the airport departure runway information, and with the approach runway information, it can also be that the loading is something wrong, or can be yeah, it has an error. It can sometimes happening, and that's why, in order to avoid any mistakes, we do the cross check here, the final LNAV cross check. So NASA waypoint is there, and after NASA, the next waypoint is Echo November Golf November yeah, Echo November Golf November Romeo Echo. Yeah, there it is. And the next waypoint after this is, yeah, that is the top of climb. That means there we will be leveled off on the altitude. The next waypoint will be the yaw transition of the SID. Yaw, yep. And then after yaw, the next waypoint will be yaw excess. And after excess will be Karin. Excess and Karin. That is correct. And the next one after Karin will be the Origi and Lit. Origi and Lit. Perfect. Okay, and after lit waypoint, the next waypoint is, after lit will be Coma and Club. Coma and Club. And after Club, the next waypoint will be, after Club, the next waypoint will be Twine and India Romeo Whiskey. Oh, excuse me. I pressed the wrong button. That is my mistake. After lit, Coma Club. Yeah. Once again, we go back here. After Club comes Twine and India Romeo Whiskey. After Club, as we can see, Twine and India Romeo Whiskey. Perfect. So that is the correct waypoint. And after India Romeo Whiskey, the next waypoint will be Cruiser. Cruiser. Yeah, sorry, I say that like Cruiser and Papa November Hotel. Cruiser and Papa November Hotel. Perfect. And the next one after Papa November Hotel will be the Alpha Charlie Hotel, Alpha Charlie Hotel, and Alpha Bravo Quebec. Alpha Charlie Hotel and Alpha Bravo Quebec. That is also loaded up. Perfect. And then Alpha Bravo Quebec, the next waypoint will be Zun and Pirit. Zun Pirit. Perfect. After Pirit, after period, the next waypoint is Delta Romeo Kilo and Gobble. Delta Romeo Kilo, Gobble, that is okay, looking good. No mistakes so far, no errors. Gobble, and then after Gobble, the next waypoint is Charlie Hotel Papa Lima November and 1. Charlie Hotel Papa Lima November and 1. Yep, that is correct. And after 1, the next waypoint is Midler and Monroe. And Monroe, perfect. Okay, and then the next thing, Monroe. After Monroe, we're gonna do Hollywood and Avatar. Hollywood and oh, did I miss something? Hollywood and next waypoint will be, oh, sorry guys, I think I saw here. Yeah, there is a waypoint between of the top of descent information. This is yeah, Brune. Yeah, see, okay, after Hollywood is coming Brune. As you can see, Hollywood Brune. We're gonna check one more time. Hollywood Brune, that is correct. And then after Brune, the next waypoint is Avatar and Die. Avatar and Die. And then after Die, it's Vadup and Naile. Vadup and Naile. Perfect. And then after Naile, the next waypoint is Sivu. After Naile is Sivu. That is correct. And then after Sivu, yeah, from here the SimBrief only file direct to the airport, but we programmed the MCU that he's followed the transition for the ILS approach. In order to check that, the exert transition for the approach, we have to open here the navigraph chart one more time, go to the airport, and then here from Sivu we go to exert. We just also can zoom a little bit out that we can see more. Okay, after Sivu we are going to exert. We're going to do a 180 turn to intercept Crispy over here. And then after Crispy we are going to Otes. Crispy Otes, as you can see here. And then after Otes we are gonna zoom a little bit out. After Otes there is the final waypoint, or the first waypoint of the ILS glide slope, which is Otes. And then after Otes we go to Gobi. Otes, Gobi. And then Gobi, as you can see, there is the final waypoint of the ILS runway 06 right, and there begins the ILS glide path in order and then we're going to follow the ILS glide path in order to land on the runway 06 right. And then we are Gobi, it goes directly to runway 06 right, because then we are on the glide path. And then we have to read the misapproach chart. In a case we doesn't can land, or we have to do one more time deep. We have to do a go around. If in case we doesn't can land. Oh, see, this is another pilot who's actually going to land here right now in Atlanta. That's why you hear it in the background. So once again, for you to know why you hear this man in the background who's talking, this is, you can see here. There's actually still morning. Yeah, it's morning and it's very empty. There's not a lot of airplanes. But in order to show you that man who's actually talking, when we watch Atlanta, Yeah, as you can see here, the Delta 1963 is gonna land. As you can see, he's actually yeah, very soon here. The speed is 190, so that means he's actually already intercepted the localizer, and he's already short on final for landing. So yeah, Delta 1963. That's why you hear that in the background. Okay. Alright, let's go back here on the, maybe we can see him, maybe we can see his landing. Yeah, but yeah, the visibility is a little bit dusk, you know, it's not very 100% perfect, but it looks, because it's the morning, yeah, it's a little bit, I think, more than 12 miles out from final. Uh, Alright, okay, let's go back in the cockpit, and as we can see, okay, in a case, here we have to do a misapproach, and we doesn't can land, and we have to do a go around. We have to follow the misapproach route here. Misapproach, climb to 600, and as we've seen, after we see that the approach, the final approach is unstable, and we have to do a go around one more time and start again. We have to follow this misapproach route. First, we have to climb to 600, as we can see, 600, and then climbing left turn to 3000, outbound of Lux VOR, which is this, yeah, outbound we have to be, yeah, we have, after we crossing Lux VOR, we have to do a left turn to 3000 for Omtra, yeah, and then we have to do, so the route is very, the misapproach route is very simple. So after we can land, we have to do climb 600 feet after we passing the Los Angeles VOR. Then we have to do a left turn, climb to 3000 to this holding area Amtra. And we can see that perfectly here on the LNAV line radar. So 600 climbing, then climbing left turn after we passing, there is the VOR of Lux of Los Angeles, and we then after we passing 600 and we passing this the VOR station, we got to do a left turn 3000 to Amtra, and yeah, and then we're gonna holding there and do one more time a second approach, and I'm gonna do a 180. And if there is an ATC controller there and there is a lot of traffic, he also can say we have to holding there and circle around until the traffic is a little bit more relaxed, and then we can say the controller, okay, you can exit Amtra and make a 180 back and try again the second approach. So this is a very yeah, small imagination how we're gonna do correctly a misapproach. So the misapproach route is set here, and yes, we can see 3000 is set. So the whole flight plan is done. It's cross-checked, and is no error, no mistakes here. So what we're gonna do is the final, very quick check if there is no flight plan continuity on the whole route. But so far looks everything perfect. And one more time here. Okay, perfect. So the whole flight plan is perfect timing. The refueling process is complete, and the refuel is done here. And that means we can start the boarding. But first of all, I want to check. Some friends are calling me here. Someone is calling me. Hold on a second, guys. Ich lüte gerade zurück. Ich kann nicht. Okay. First of all, I have a sorry. My brother was calling me here. Let's check here. Sicher schon, Vincent, sicher schon. Um, so now then, so the next thing, yep, what we're gonna do here is, yeah, I have to calculate if the fuel is correctly loaded up, because you also have to do that. It's very important. Even when the refueler on the ground knows how that he correctly load the correct amount of fuel, you also have to do the calculation, because there was a tragic for many years ago, there was a tragic accident, airplane accident, because for many years ago, where I think there was a 757, yeah, aircraft was crashing, and the problem was the refueler on the ground did the incorrect calculation. He only, for the flight, they used 80% of fuel. But the problem was the ground refueler was not familiar with the pound refueling system, or yeah, it was a problem. He calculated wrong, and he only refueled the airplane 50% of fuel. And the problem was the captain didn't actually, for some reason, I don't know why, but they figured it out on the air crash investigation. They figured out that the pilot didn't did the cross-check calculation, and that is a big problem. That's why you also have to do, and after they did, yeah, it was not accident, but they did emergency landing, and in order to avoid that, you have to do the calculations all the time, in order to know that you have 100% fixed that you have the correct fuel on board. So, okay, we have to do 6,140 kilograms. I use it 6,140 kilograms plus this 3,800. Sorry, and I'm using a calculator because I'm too lazy to do head calculations. 6,140 and 3,870, and then we're going to do here plus 3,870 once again. So that leads us to 13,880. Because if we are going to the weight and fuel balance payload, we have 3,876 actually, yeah. 13,876, but right now we have 13,880, so we have 4 kilograms extra fuel, and that means when we check on the OFP fuel, we have we have actually 104 kilograms extra fuel, because yeah, as you can, oh sorry, this is the notebook. So here we can see 13,776, but we have 13,876. So that means we have right now 13,880. So we have 104 kilograms some extra fuel. That is perfect, and it is absolutely safe. Perfect. And then we can close here. So the fuel is on board, everything is perfect, and then right now we can start the boarding. So we just can open here the ground service. Sorry. Where's my head? Sorry. We have to do here the plugins, ground handling, show controls, which is and then we just can. You have to wait because it is a little bit slow, and we can channel is connected. We can ask for cargo loader and the cargo cars, and yeah, catering is already on board. Forward our cargo, and then we're gonna drive up, and we have to go very quickly on doors and open forward cargo and after cargo doors. And if you can look out, we're gonna check. Okay, it's open. And here we can check if the doors are open. Forward entry, forward cargo, after cargo. Perfect. And now, if you're gonna look outside, we can see the cargo loader is going to arrive and the passengers getting into the plane. But we're gonna wait until, yeah, the things on board, and yep, we just can start in order to put here the start. I have real boarding things here, but this is instant boarding, but this doesn't have a real boarding system. That's why I download Cabby, because Cabby is a real life boarding timing. So what we're gonna do is come over time here, then payload, and then we're gonna skip here, and we're gonna do here 16 passengers. 36 passengers is maximum that we can put here. Also 36 passengers here, 36 passengers there, and also here 36 passengers. And yeah, we're gonna do here. I have to calculate this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 16. Yeah, we have 160 passengers that we get boarding, and we have on board here on the instant, and then we're going to do the real life boarding. And cargo, our cargo planning today, it is actually 4,191, right? So, but we're going to go for 4,690. We go for, or we can do the correct amount of yeah. So our boarding, yeah, our cargo is 4,192. So I'm going to split that in half, because usually I like to do 2,345 in split 2. So that means I usually like to have a little bit more cargo on board. But yeah, we're gonna go for the correct booked cargo that the passengers are booked. So we have 4,192 kilograms, 4,192 kilograms split in half. 40, that makes 2,096 kilograms each side, so that the weight is balanced. So okay, we go here 2,000 and 096 entering, and 2,096 on the second after cargo number 2. And yeah, we're gonna do one more time the calculations here, and so 2,096 plus 2,096 makes 4,192 kilograms on board. I'm going to check that one more time. 4,192, that is correct. And the reason why I do this cross check is I already told you, I trust I avoid many mistakes here. And we have a payload of 18,112. That is good. Okay, we're going to cross check that every passenger is on board. Okay, 16, 36. Okay, cargo 1, cargo 1, and zone 5. Okay, zone 1, 16. 36, 36, 36, and 36. Okay, cargo 5, cargo 1, cargo zone 5, 36, 36, 36, 36, 16. Okay, 16, 36, 36, 36, 36. Okay, and the cargo's on board and passengers on board, and we go to here. And 18,112, and our zero fuel weight then is 61.2. And here we can click start boarding, and now the real boarding is starting. In order to have the flight information, Atlanta to Los Angeles, 12:10, and Atlanta to Los Angeles, Boeing 78, 160 passengers, and start boarding.
Boarding started. Willkommen an Bord.
Okay, our zero fuel weight is right now 61.2. 61.2 is our zero fuel weight. I have to do that on my note paper because later I need that. Zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons.
Welcome.
Our zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons. 61.2 tons, 61.2 tons, 61.2 tons, and our fuel is checked, and takeoff weight is checked here, and our center of gravity is 23.0 ton. Sorry, 23.0% is our center of gravity. Our center of gravity is 23.0%.
Good morning.
Excuse me, sorry.
Darf ich bitte Ihr Boarding Pass
And
sehen?
then percent. Okay, then we're gonna do here a slash, and
May
then
I see your boarding pass?
you have the thing with the set correctly here. Okay. All right
May I
then.
see your boarding pass?
Okay, 23.0% is set, and then we're going to do the cross check. Okay, payload is 18,112 kilograms. I already checked that. The zero fuel weight is the zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons. The zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons. 61.2 tons. The block fuel is correct, and the takeoff fuel is 74.8 tons. So far from the patch here, from the display, and we're going to calculate what the MCU says, not what the here says, but this is also correct. And then the takeoff center of gravity, the takeoff center of gravity is 23.0%, the center of gravity is 23.0%, 23.0%, and that is good. So we are completely done here, and the next thing what we can do is go to the inner page and entering all the weight and the weights, your fuel information, and etc. Okay, cruising altitude will be 34,000 feet, flight level 340, and the cruising wind will be not. It's very important that you don't put the average wind here. I learned that from real pilot. That you don't put the average wind. It's important that you put the the top of climb wind, because that is the correct thing. So top of climb wind is 222 with 12
Good morning.
/12, and we're gonna put that in. And instrument standard atmosphere temperature is
Welcome.
plus 11. And then we have the correct outside air temperature. It's 42, and the transition is 18,000, and the cost index is 5 for this flight. And the reserve that we set is the reserve fuel on our destination airport will be from the OFP will be reserve fuel will be 2.1 tons. 2.1 tons is the reserve fuel, and the zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons. That is correct, and we have 13.9. We just can leave it.
Welcome.
0.9. Execute. All right. All right, and now the important thing is beginning. So we're gonna do the cross check. So I gotta open here one more time for you guys so that you know what I gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do here, split this a little bit up, and we're going down here. Yeah, we're gonna scroll down to the top of climb wind first of all. Here.
Welcome aboard.
This is our top of climb wind, as you can see. This top of climb means this is the waypoint that we are leveled off on our flight level, and that means on that point that is the correct cruising wind. That's why you have to put the top of climb wind and not the average wind. Top of climb wind, as you can see here, is 222 degrees, coming from 220 degrees, and with 12 miles per hour. So top of climb wind is here, 222 with 12 miles. Okay, flight level 340, he says optimum flight level. We're going to do step by step the cross check. Okay, flight level 340, but he says the optimum flight level for this route is flight level 355. Or we can't go for flight level 355, I guess. We have to go for flight level 360. So we're gonna wait on we're gonna stay on flight level 340 after a while, and then we go for flight level 360 later. But flight level 340 is correctly set, and the cruising wind is 222 with 12. as we can see here, top of
Darf ich
line
bitte
with
Ihr boarding pass sehen?
222 with 12, yep, and minus 42. 222
see
with
your boarding
12
pass?
and minus
May I see your boarding pass?
42 is the outside temperature and plus 11. And also here,
Guten Morgen.
as you can see, plus 11 and minus 42. Yeah, plus 11 and minus 42 is the outside temperature on that cruising altitude. For minus 42 degrees Celsius. Right, and the transition altitude here in Atlanta is, I know, in the most area space in the whole USA, so almost always 80,000 feet.
Welcome aboard.
And the cost index here, yeah, as I said, is 5.
Welcome aboard.
Cost index 5. The reserve, as we said, is
Good morning.
2.1.
Willkommen.
2.1. And the estimated fuel weight, as we said, is 61.2. 61.2, that's the correct fuel weight. And the block fuel is 13.9. Yeah, actually,
Guten Morgen.
13.9. But it's actually 13, yeah, 800. So
Good morning.
that is good. And we just can leave it that. And we have
Good morning.
a ground weight right now. This is the total weight that we have right now with passengers, fuel, cargo, and the plane itself with the weight. The total weight is 75.1 tons. So the ground weight is 75.1 tons. And the takeoff weight will be 500 kilograms less. So that means, yeah, or is it 200 kilograms? Yeah, I guess 200.
Willkommen.
74.9.
Willkommen an Bord.
Yeah, let's check how much is the taxi fuel for the
Darf ich bitte Ihr boarding pass sehen?
737-800. Sorry, guys.
Willkommen an Bord.
Let me check here. Taxi at 200 kilograms. Yeah, we rounded up to 200 and rounded down to 200. And that means
Willkommen. May I see your boarding
74.9.
pass?
74.9. Yeah, 74.9 tons is the takeoff weight. Takeoff weight is 74.9 tons. 74.9 tons is the actual.
Good morning. This is your captain speaking.
Yeah.
My name is Mark. Welcome aboard on this
Your
Delta
flight
Airlines
information.
flight number
Flight announcement.
575 from Atlanta to Los Angeles. We are currently preparing for departure, and we will be taking off shortly. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today. Guten Abend, hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Mark. Willkommen an Bord dieses Delta Airlines Fluges Nummer 575 von Atlanta nach Los Angeles. Wir bereiten uns derzeit auf den Abflug vor und werden in Kürze abheben. Vielen Dank, dass Sie sich entschieden haben, heute mit uns zu fliegen.
Yep. Good, Master Carson. So, alright. And the important thing is, that was the flight announcement. You know, when you also fly in real life, when you go in the cabin, the pilot talks to you and say, ladies and gentlemen, the flight takes, wanna welcome aboard here on the, yeah, just like this, and the flight takes 7 hours and 5 minutes, so blah blah, the flight announcements information.
We are currently preparing for departure, and we will be taking off shortly. Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened and your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. Please turn off all personal electronic devices,
flight level
including
340,
laptops and cell phones.
and can
Smoking
we do
is
the
prohibited
calculations
for the
here?
duration of the flight. If you have any questions or need assistance, please don't hesitate to ask me or one of my colleagues. Hallo und willkommen an Bord. Mein Name ist Ayla und ich bin Ihr Flugbegleiter auf diesem Flug. Wie Sie von unserem Kapitän hören konnten, bereiten wir uns derzeit auf die Abreise vor und werden in Kürze abheben. Bitte stellen Sie sicher, dass Ihr Sicherheitsgurt angelegt ist und sich Ihre Rückenlehne
Ja,
und Ihr Tablettisch
74.9.
in einer aufrechten Position befinden. Bitte schalten Sie alle persönlichen elektronischen
Okay,
Geräte,
74
einschließlich Laptops und
74.9
Mobiltelefone
tons. 74.9 tons is our takeoff weight. 75.1
mich oder einen meiner
is
Kollegen
the ground weight.
anzusprechen.
Okay, the takeoff weight is then 74.9 tons minus this 200 kilograms.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And then
this
we
is
are
your
good.
captain speaking again. Our flight today will take approximately 4 hours and 17 minutes. The weather in Los Angeles is partly cloudy,
Yeah.
We expect a smooth flight. Please relax and enjoy the flight. Hallo, ich bin es wieder. Ich dachte, ich teile einige Informationen mit Ihnen. Unser heutiger Flug dauert ungefähr 4 Stunden und 17 Minuten. Das Wetter in Los Angeles ist teilweise bewölkt. Wir erwarten einen ruhigen Flug. Bitte entspannen Sie sich und genießen Sie den Flug.
Yeah, and this is an AI announcement. This AI announcement is very cool. It costs $30, and it's called Cabby. And what they do is that they read the correct information that I actually file on SimBrief, which is here. So he says 4 hours and 70 minutes. So the only thing what you have to do is when you buy this Cabby AI announcement tool, is to entering, you make your flight plan, etc. Blah blah blah. And after you're finished with your flight plan and you're finished with your preparation on your aircraft, you just can go to Cabby, enter transfer the flight plan from SimBrief into the Cabby, and then he says the correct announcement to the passengers with the correct flight from A to B and the flight number, the correct flight time. This is really, really cool. It costs only $30.
Shortly after takeoff, we'll begin our onboard
And also the
service
service
with a selection of snacks and beverages.
background
You'll find our menu
sound
in
you
the
can
seat
hear.
pocket in front of
Yeah,
you.
it's very cool.
If you have any specific dietary preferences or requests,
Alright,
please
okay,
don't hesitate
back to the
let one of
job
our crew
here.
members know. Thank you.
Okay, and
Meine Damen und Herren, kurz nach dem Start beginnen wir mit unserem Bordservice, bei dem wir Ihnen eine Auswahl an Snacks und Getränken anbieten.
flight level.
Unser Menü finden Sie in der Sitztasche vor Ihnen.
Okay, flight level
Wenn Sie
340.
spezielle diätetische Vorlieben
Flight level
oder Wünsche
340,
haben, zögern Sie bitte nicht, einem
once
unserer
again,
Crewmitglieder Bescheid zu
flight level
geben.
340, optimum flight level 355, cruising wind is, one more time, 222 with 12, 222 with 12, plus 11, and minus 42, I already checked that. Transition altitude is 18,000, cost index is 5, reserve fuel is 2.1, and the zero fuel weight, estimated zero fuel weight correct, estimated zero fuel weight is 61.2%, and the planned block fuel here is 13.9 tons. That is correct. The ground weight is where is it? Once again, the ground weight here is 75.1 and is 75.1, and the takeoff weight will be then 74.9 tons. Yeah, 74.9 tons. Perfect. So the complete the edit page is correct. So we can go to N1 limits, and yeah, in order to go to N1 limits, we have to go to takeoff performance calculation, and we go here takeoff performance. Yeah, this is integrated tool, but it gives much more better tool if you want for the 737-800, but I don't know where this is for free. 737-800, 737-800, then you give me Atlanta to Atlanta runway 27 runway 26 left. It's meter. Yeah, we have 3048 meter. That is correct. Yeah, but you also can check on the SimBrief. I mean on the Navigraph, if that is correct. Yeah, it's sometimes with the calculation. So we go Avitab airport, and then we go for Atlanta. Yeah, here. Yeah, 26 left, 3048 meters long. This is the runway length, and let's see if the correctly loaded. Yeah, 3048 meters. As you can see, Atlanta 26 left, 3048 meters. Kilogram we're gonna set here, and the takeoff weight is 74.9 tons, 74,900 kilograms, and the flap will be. Let's check one more time. Takeoff weight will be 74.9 tons, 74,900 kilogram, and the flap will be optimum thrust, optimum bleeds, auto, anti-ice, we just can offer because we doesn't have any anti-ice, and yeah, we have to do.
Atlanta traffic, American 128 heavy. We're on a 12-mile final ILS 26 right, Atlanta.
Okay, then we have the wind is 300 with 7 at the moment. Let's check that here. We just can also go Atlanta. We just go here and click stop. Oh no. Oh no, I mean search. I just want to have the information from Atlanta. Yeah, weather information. Yeah, the WETR 1052. Now this is from Yeah, yeah. This is oh, okay. This is a very old. Is this? Huh? Yeah, this is correct. Okay, 10:52. Yeah, this is actually 8. Yeah, 1 hour and 19 minutes old. Yeah, this is a little bit old, but okay, we just can hold it. I can also go if that is not enough for me. I can go also to. We just can close this. We just can also close that, and yeah, what I want to do is go to Meetartov. This is also a website where you can check the correct weather on every airport. Let's check that one more time. Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing a delay.
yeah,
We apologize for the inconvenience,
yeah,
and we will keep you updated on the progress.
yeah, and
We are
yeah,
working hard to get you on your way as soon as possible. Thank you
and
for
the
your
AI
patience.
tool also tells you the
Sehr geehrte Damen und
delayedness.
Herren, wir sind aktuell verspätet und entschuldigen uns für die Unannehmlichkeiten.
Okay.
Selbstverständlich werden wir Sie über den weiteren Verlauf informieren und bemühen uns, Sie so schnell wie möglich an
Yeah,
Ihr
see, that
Reiseziel
is the
zu bringen.
correct
Vielen
wind
Dank für Ihre
information.
Geduld.
It's not 280, so 300. This is from 21 minutes ago. Sometimes we have to check another METAR information because the integrated weather update information is sometimes a little bit slow here. So that's why you go. METAR is always the best. I think that one of the best free website tool that you can use for current weather information. So yeah, the wind is actually 300 with 7 miles at the moment. 307. The visibility is 10. We have only scattered clouds at 2,500 feet, and ceiling is none. That means we have absolutely clear sky, clear. I mean, 100% ceiling here. And yeah, the visibility. I mean, the altimeter is 3012. Okay, let's check here one more time if that is correct. Okay, 300, 300 with 7, 300 with 7. Yep. 307, 307. The temperature is 27. Temperature is 27. Yeah, actually almost 27. And the pressurization is 301. I mean, the pressurization in altimeter is 3012. 3012, and yeah, that's it actually. So the correct thing is yeah, loaded up here. Correct weather information is loaded up. And one more time, cross-check. Okay, Boeing 737-800 default, Atlanta 26 left, 3,048 meter long kilogram. And one more time, our takeoff weight. The takeoff weight will be 74. Our takeoff weight will be 74.9 tons. So 74.9 tons. So takeoff weight 74,900. 74,900 kilograms. Yep. And then the flap optimum, thrust optimum, bleed is auto. And NTIs are off, perfect, and 307 the temperature, and yeah, pressurization is correct, and the surface is dry. So then we can hit here calculate after you hit the correct information, and then you see all the information that you need for the takeoff performance. Takeoff performance for our registered aircraft 737-800. Runway weather, Atlanta wind is 307 as we can see here. 26 left, and takeoff runway is 3,480 meters long, and outside temperature is 27. That is correct, and the runway heading will be 275. 275 QNH is 3012, and the elevation is yeah, 1026. Okay, the weight is 74.9 tons. One more time, 74.9 tons. Yep. And flaps auto, thrust auto, bleeds auto, flex ATM, and NTIs are off. Okay, so this is the information part, the important part for us. Okay, he calculates. With that, we will be taking off with flaps 5. The takeoff thrust power will be DTO, but I think this is really hard. DTO. I think this is we doesn't need DTO. We can go for DTO1. We can see also because the good thing is the Boeing 737 have an integrated calculator with every takeoff performance that you decided to use. So DTO and the select temperature is 38. Okay, let's go. Flaps 5. I have to calculate that. Hold on a second.
Atlanta traffic, American 128 heavy. We're crossing runway 26 left to the gate.
Okay, flaps 5. Flap, 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 flaps. Sorry, excuse me. Flaps 5. Flaps 5, and then we. Oh, sorry, excuse me. And what was the other thing here? Flaps 5, frost, DTO, flaps 5, and then DTO, excuse me, sorry, I'm a little bit slow here. Where is it? Yeah, I mean, DO, maximum thrust power, he says, and then, oh, fuck. Oh, this is so dumb. Sorry, guys. Alright, okay, DTO, and we have the flex temperature of 38. Flex temperature of 38. Flex temperature of 38. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the cross check. Flaps 5, yeah, DTO, and flex temperature is 38. Okay, we just can close this, and other yeah, it's much more quicker when I'm using the notepad. That's why I write it down here. Okay, so now then we are going here, entering flex temperature 38, and he wants us to take off power 1. What is we gonna go for? Yeah, I would say DTO would be absolutely enough. DTO 1. We go for DTO 1. And you see, because we doesn't need a 98% frost power, we doesn't need the maximum DTO, because he says if you're gonna use this for flex temperature 38, we have a 98% of frost power of N1. This is way too much, because we have a 3,048 meter long runway. I think we doesn't need the DTO, because otherwise we have to using less power every time when we're taking off. We have to always using the optimum thrust power for takeoff in order to save the engine's life. You know, otherwise the engine life goes very quick down, and the engine getting soon enough, very soon you have to change new engines after many years. You know, so in order to prevent this problem, in order to avoid this problem or save engine lives, you have to using the best optimum thrust power, and that means you have always using less power, not maximum thrust power. You're always using the optimum in order to do. And I think I see clearly that is way too much DTO 1. But usually we stay on this, but DTO 1 is, I think, is way too much. So let's see, because this is also integrated calculator. We can see, okay, I say, yeah, 94% and 1 is absolutely enough, and we're gonna go for climb 1. Okay, and now we are going to do the cross check very quickly. Flex temperature 38. Okay, flex 38, outside temperature is 26. Flex 38, outside temperature is 26, and then we are going for 94%, 94.0%, 94.0%, and we go for TTO 1, climb 1, TTO 1, and climb 1. Yep, that is correctly here. Then we go to the next page, and we're gonna hit here the next button, and we go here to entering the runway wind. The runway wind one more time is 300. Yeah, I remember that, 300 with 7. I remember that from before. 300 with 7 miles. The wind the runway conditioning is dry. The flex temperature is 38, weight 26. That is also correct. And now he asked for the frost, the runway slope heading. We doesn't need necessarily to dial in. But guys, I don't know how it works. But the next thing is we go here to here acceleration and frost reduction. But in order to know that, we are going to the map. I go to the map. Going here 26 left, and here we can see the elevation is right now 995 feet on the ground. Yeah, 990 feet on sea level. 990 feet is that our runway on sea level. So we have to do plus 800 feet in order to have the correct. Yeah, in order I always use using that, but you also can read on the chart what is the correct thrust reduction. But 995 feet, 995 feet, 995 feet plus this 800, so it is 1,795 is the correct, yeah, the correct thrust reduction for us. 1,795 feet plus 1,000 for the acceleration wakes for 2,795. 2,795. Click. Alright, and that is good. Alright, a little bit of stretch because this was a lot of work. And okay, 300 with 7 dry, and 38 with temperature 26. Yep, and the acceleration is 2,795, 2,795, and 1,795, 1,795. Okay. Yeah, perfect. And then we can go back here, entering flaps 5, and as you can see, yeah, also flaps, on the TTO1 will be absolutely way enough, because yeah, as you can see, we have almost the same V speed when we yeah, that means sometimes this takeoff performance doesn't calculate, yeah, with the correct V speed with our correct airplane. So that's why I say that there is giving a lot much more better V-speed calculator for the 737-800. But yeah, that is because it's free. But it's good enough. It's very precision enough. So 153. Okay, well, 105, 103, and 153. So yeah, the V-speeds are correct. So I'm gonna say it flaps 5. 94% is the takeoff thrust power. And our center of gravity, as we know from the beginning, was the center of gravity is 23.0%. 23.0% entering that, and then we have a trim of 5.7 units. So I'm gonna set that 5.7 units is the trim. Okay. So now then, flaps 5 one more time. Flaps 5, flaps 5, flaps 5. 94.0%. Flaps 5. Okay. Flaps 5, 94.0%. The center of gravity is 23.0%. 23.0%. 5.7 euro. The trim is 5.7 units, and V1 is 151, V rotate is 152, and V2 is 153.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
And yeah, we can do here the pre-flight procedure, but we're gonna skip to pre-flight checklist because I already did the pre-flight procedure, so it's not yet necessary to do the pre-flight procedure. Is that okay, honey? Because we doesn't need the procedure here today. We doesn't need to do it procedure, Linda. Yeah. Alright, okay, flaps 5, 94, yeah, okay, 151, and this is correct. Okay, V2 is 153, so we're gonna dial here in the V2 speed, 153. This is after we airborne. We have the first cleared speed is 153, and the heading is also correctly set. Okay, so now then, yep, so we are done here. We're going to do the climb. We can go to the climb page below or at 10,250, and then it is correct, and we can go here for climbing speed 280 with decimal 7, I would say 780. Let's go for that. Yeah, 280.780, blah blah. Okay, 1050, 10,000, 10,000 and 280 decimal 78, flight 340. And then we can go cruising. Cruising, he says he wants to decimal 7. Yeah, decimal. Yeah, I want to go for decimal. Yeah, in order to stay on that cost index 5, he wants us that we're flying with decimal 770. Yeah, in order to save fuel, but yeah, I guess we have a lot of fuel. Yeah, enough fuel here. So yeah, we can stay in 77. Yeah, okay. Let's go for 77. Yeah, let's go for 780. A little bit more here. Decimal 780. The cruising. After a while, we can still change it if we want it. Decimal 780. Decimal, yeah. Or let's at least say decimal 79. Maximum power here. Maximum cruising level. Decimal 79er. And yep. And then the descent will be decimal. Excuse me. Decimal 790 slash weight 280. And then below or at 10,250 as usual in the most air region, and then execute, and that is good. Decimal 790, then 280, 250, 10,000. Perfect. We're going to do one more time here the cross check. 250, 10,000, 280, decimal 78. Yeah, then cruising decimal 790 and decimal 790 and yep, this is good. Climbing one more time. Yep. And then cruising decimal 790. Perfect. And then descent decimal 728 to 50. Yep. Wonderful. Okay. Fix info. We are giving, what is the fix info is our destination airport, which is Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray Los Angeles. This is our fix info. But that is not true, so we're giving, excuse me, we're giving, sorry, what is wrong with me? Atlanta, because this is important for the, CTOF frequency. After 40 miles we leave the airport, we can switch from CTOF frequency to Montreal Unicom in the case there is no ATC traffic, ATC control. Yeah, fix info we already did. So now then we have to go to Inet page and go to the alternate destination, and we're almost done here, guys. Sorry, I know I am getting a lot of delayedness here. But yeah, the reason normally I'm very pointful with my normally I'm always on time with my departure time. I'm very pointful, but this time because all of the preparation of the streaming OBS studio, then the resetting of the streaming, and then the resetting of the flight plan, and etc. etc. It was a lot of time, and also I was talking too much, and then I was lost a lot of time here. Yeah, what I wanted to do is our alternate is Ontario, which is our alternate airport in the case we doesn't can land in Los Angeles is Ontario, which is Kilo Oscar November Tango. Kilo Oscar November Tango. Yeah, this is Ontario. One more time. Kilo Oscar November Tango. Kilo Oscar November Tango. Ontario is set. All right, and then we are done here. And now we do the final call, cross check, and that means I'm gonna check that everything is here correct. The final cross check and the final call. Okay, first of all, we're gonna start here. Yeah, Yeah, oh sorry, we are not way there. First of all, of course, I always forgot this. We have to do here the cross check of the flight. Okay, Snuffy and Bot, Snuffy and Pilot, and then comes NASA. Yep, NASA, that is correct. And after NASA comes Yal. Oh yeah, NASA, Anger, and then comes Yal. Yeah, perfect. Okay, wonderful. Okay, flight plan is cross-checked, and yeah, even the standard arrival we can also check here. Okay, first of all, now we're gonna do here the yeah, we're gonna do here one more time the first of all, yeah, the final cross-check, flight level. Okay, flight level 340. Flight level 340 is checked. Optimum flight level 355. The cruising wind is 222 with 12. Blah blah blah. Take it out plus 11. This is the instrument standard atmosphere, and the outside temperature on deck cruising level will be minus 42 degrees Celsius. That is correct. Cost index 5, reserve 2.1, and the zero fuel weight is 61.2 tons. 61.2 tons. And the plan, the block fuel is 30.9 tons. That is correct. And the ground weight is 75.1 tons. 75.1 tons. And the takeoff weight is 74.9 tons. That is correct. And the center of gravity is 23.0%. Okay, and one more time is we're gonna using flex temperature is 38 and outside temperature 26. 38 and 26, that is correct. And then comes 94% and 94.0% and 1 power. That is there, and takeoff 1, climb 1. Takeoff 1, climb 1. Climb 1, yep. Yeah, takeoff 1, climb 1. Okay, perfect, that is checked. Takeoff. Flaps 5, 94.0%. Flaps 5, 94.0%. Center of gravity is 23.0%. I already checked that. 23.0%. And our trim unit is 5.7. That is also correct. B1 151, we rotate 152, and V2 is 153. Yep, that is good. Next one, the cruising wind, the runway wind is 307. It's dry. 38, flex temperature with 26, that is correct, and the acceleration is 2,795 with 1,795 is the thrust reduction, and that is also the rate. The climb one more time, 250-10, 250-10 and 280.78, cruising, 0.79er. Yep, that is also checked, and then descent is 290 to 8. Descent path is also checked and normal. Fix info is Atlanta. Okay, so now then, we already checked that, and then we can also go here to the final call here. Identity is checked. Yeah, here, identity is checked. Position is checked. Performance, takeoff, approach, offset. All an update as recall message and recall is checked. Alternators descent is checked. Select config, and yeah, the rest here is completely checked. So before we can do the final call here, so we can do here, we have to check here the V speeds and the altitude on every waypoint, if that is correct. In order to do that, I have to one more time open here the speed. So, but as we can see here, we have no speed restriction on our route here, so that is good. So that means the V speed calculator calculates optimum climbing and altitude speed, V speed here, and altitude on every waypoint. So 185, I'll return 2001, and then 280, 11,000, yeah. 1,000. 11,000. Yep, that is good. You have like 192. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, looking good, ladies and gentlemen. New flight level 340, that's looking good. Now, we have to open the wonderful standard arrival chart. Alright, okay. Cable. We can do that later if we want the resetting of the V-speed for the standard arrival, but I always do doing now because then I did that work, but yeah, we just can do it now, the cross check here. Okay, after Gobel. Okay, Gabel, and then Chimpel, and then after Chimpel, Nuven, Middler, and then Middler, Monroe, and Monroe, then Helvet. Flight level 230. Okay. Okay, this is the minimum. We have to fly the Helvet flight level. Helvet flight level 320. Helvet 280 flight level 230. Brian at 280. Brian 280 between flight level 240 and 300. 240. Yeah. That is correct, and then we go Avatar 280, 190, 240. Avatar 190, 240. Avatar 190, 240 with 280. That is good. And then after Avatar comes Die with 17,000. Die with 70,000, 280, and Wadup 15,000. Wadup 15,000, which is this one. And then Nile 14,000, Nile 280 14,000, that is good. And then Sivu, then comes Sivu, Nile Sivu between Sivu 270 between 12 and 14,000. Sivu 270 between 12 and 14,000. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And then we go open, so this chart is absolutely perfectly well. I can read the rest later. Yeah, because we just can read now for Hollywood track to Brian or track Avatar track the expect ILS or AirNav. Yeah, so the we have no special speed restriction. The speed restriction is here clearly set, so we have to follow this. And the next thing is we got to open the ILS approach, which is exert. Exert, we have to be exert. You have to be at 250, 7,800. Exert, 20 miles out. And then after exert, the next waypoint is Crispy. Espert, Crispy, we have to be at 221 at 4,000. That is correct. And then Otis, we are 10 miles out. Otis, yeah, Otis, we should be at 3,600. Otis, we have to be at 3,600. Otis 3,600. That is correct. We are at Otis. We are 10.8 miles out. So usually we must fly with 160, but I'm gonna leave it because I'm going to reset that when we get a. I'm gonna reset the speed on the waypoint, on the approach final waypoint, when we get very close to the airport. But the waypoint, the important is that the altitude is correct. Okay, 3,600, and anyway, from that point on, we're gonna fly with speed select and not with managed speed. 3,600 on Otis is correct, and then Gopi we had 1,800. Gopi we have 1,800, and that is good. And then the rest, as we see, runway 3 is 6 right, 600, and then 3,000. Yep, the rest is checked. So the whole MCU is done here. So we can do the final call. Both inlets are set, route is checked, climbing is checked, cruising is checked, descent is checked, progress is checked, 1,700 and 740, a little bit more, 1,740, that is checked. And progress is checked, holding is checked, and holding is checked, departure arrival is checked, legs is checked, departure arrival check, legs is checked, menu, and one limit is checked, fix, and yeah, that means the whole FMS is completely done. So we can just close here the door, ladies and gentlemen, and go here to plugins, go SamGate, and we're gonna say it can be closed. Alright, and then that means we also can go to the ground service, plugins, ground handling, and say this can drive away and this can be drive away. And they driving away, as you can see, and that means we just can close here the doors, and forward and off the cargo also close, and that means they close here the cargo door, as you can see. Alright, so that means there's all green, that all the doors are closed, and also here the doors are 1, 2, 3, 4, also the doors are here closed. So next thing what we're going to do is we're going to start the APU. Turn on the voice recorder on, for I remember that. Yell dumper can be go on. And of course we can turn on all the fuel pumps, otherwise all the fuel pumps can be go on, and we wait until the APU is available, until it comes down to 4. So we can also see the passengers, but it's on 160, so we just can close here the door. Yeah. Alright, and from here we can just switch back to map. We are gonna zoom out, yeah, 5 miles I would say, and hit here traffic, also here 5 miles, and hit here traffic, in order that I don't forget. Yeah, once again this is good, and then we can switch here to APU generator. Yeah, we just can disconnect ground power, so the ground power is away. Ground power is away, AP generator is set, and then we just can, normal, yeah, we just can go in, check here, then we can turn on the window heaters. Window heaters goes on, and engine, yeah, we just can do here the checklist, pre-flight checklist, please.
Pre-flight checklist.
And yeah, of course, the landing altitude I didn't set.
Voice recorder
is on.
On. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation and display switches.
Normal.
Normal. Auto. Window heat.
On.
On. Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Auto. Flight instruments.
Yeah, of course. Flight instruments. Yeah, I always forget.
Heading 96.
Yeah, this is a
Altitude
mistake.
826. Altimeter 2992. Parking brake.
Set.
Set. Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Cut off. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Alright, pre-flight checklist complete, and then we can turn on the hydraulic pumps, so far I know. Hydraulic pumps on, and yeah, what we're gonna do here is anti-collision lights. We can also turn on the logo lights, yeah, which is also can turn on if we want. Okay, that looking good. So one more time, a very fresh here. Okay, standby power, cruise power, ground power is disconnected, generator, not one disconnected, EP generator, generator.
Arm doors and cross-check.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for departure, we kindly ask for your full attention as we go over the safety features of this aircraft. Seatbelts should be fastened at this time, and all carry-on items must be stowed in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. In the event of an emergency, follow the illuminated exit signs to locate your nearest exit. Remember that your nearest exit may be behind you.
Alright.
In the unlikely event of a water landing,
Okay, ELT
this
guard.
aircraft is equipped with life vests located
ELT guard
under
is
your
closed.
seat D. To use,
EL
pull the vest out,
ELT
slip
guard.
it over your head,
ELT guard
and
is
secure it with
closed,
the straps.
and tested
Inflate
one
your vest by
tested
pulling
here.
the red tabs
Left
or by blowing into the tubes on either
position.
side.
Left.
Do not
Iris 1
inflate
to
your
nav.
vest
Okay.
until exiting the aircraft. If oxygen masks are needed, they will drop automatically from the panel above. Place the mask over your nose and mouth.
This
Secure
is
it
checked.
with the elastic band.
Flight controller
Breathe
are closed
normally.
at pressure. Spoiler guard is closed
Assistance
at
will be
pressure.
provided
Okay.
once everyone has their mask on. We appreciate your cooperation as we ensure your safety and
Okay,
comfort.
all the
Thank
flaps
you.
are off and have
Meine
pressure.
Damen und Herren,
Normal,
während wir
normal,
uns auf den
normal,
Abflug
normal. Looking
vorbereiten,
good, search auto.
bitten wir Sie um Ihre
And
volle Aufmerksamkeit,
genau,
während wir
crossfit
die
off and all fuel
Sicherheitsmerkmale
pumps on.
dieses Flugzeugs durchgehen. Die Sicherheitsgurte sollten jetzt angelegt werden und alle Handgepäckstücke müssen in den Gepäckfächern über Ihrem Sitz oder unter dem Sitz vor Ihnen verstaut werden. Im Falle eines Notfalls folgen Sie bitte den beleuchteten Notausgangsschildern, um den nächsten Ausgang zu finden. Denken Sie daran, dass sich der nächste Ausgang hinter Ihnen befinden könnte. Im unwahrscheinlichen Fall einer Wasserlandung ist dieses Flugzeug mit Rettungswesten ausgestattet,
Okay.
die sich unter Ihrem Sitz befinden.
Standby
Um die
MP
Weste zu
generator
verwenden,
is set,
ziehen Sie
battery
sie
guard
heraus.
is closed,
Ziehen
and
Sie sie über den Kopf und sichern Sie
EFP
sie
post
mit
is
den
set,
Riemen.
standby power outdoor, ground power
Blasen
is
Sie die Weste
disconnected,
auf,
and
indem Sie an
APU
den
generators
Gurtenlaschen ziehen oder
are
in die Rohre an beiden Seiten
APU
blasen.
generators
Blasen Sie
are
die Weste nicht
set,
auf, bevor Sie
and
das
then
Flugzeug verlassen.
ground power is
Wenn
disconnected, and
Sauerstoffmasken benötigt
APU
werden, fallen
generator
diese
is
automatisch vom Panel über Ihnen.
set, and
Setzen
generators
Sie die
are
Maske
off,
über Mund und
and then we
Nase.
go to the middle
Sichern Sie
page
sie mit dem
one more time.
Gummiband und
Service
atmen Sie normal.
service interface one off, normal brightness are off, circuit breakers, panel lights off, ignore
Wir
normal
danken
emergency
Ihnen
lights
für
are
Ihre
not.
Zusammenarbeit,
No smoking
um
out
Ihre
of fossil
Sicherheit
on,
und Ihren
wipers
Komfort
are
zu
off.
gewährleisten.
Yep.
Vielen Dank.
Okay, VFR, yeah, the cockpit safety from the flight attendant, you hear that. VFR one, okay, that is already checked. Is a passenger oxygen check is tested 100%. Yeah, and yeah, then window heaters all on. Window heaters are on, prop heaters are off, and wing and GIs are off, and hydraulic pumps are on, and doors 1, 2, 3, 4 is closed. All the doors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the doors are black here, and that means the doors are closed. All the doors are closed, and the cabin pressure is checked 0. And yeah, of course, I forgot to set the altimeter. Flight recorder test tested, so warning tested, blah blah. This is already tested. Voice recorder is on, and yeah, we can do the air temperature cross check. Yeah, in the whole aircraft, in the whole room is everything about 21, 22 degrees Celsius. Normal room temperature, perfect. And then we can turn on the trim air on. Voice recorder is on. Air temperature is checked, and the trim air is on. All fans regulator on auto, and RERIC fans on auto. Packs on RERIC fans on auto. Packs on auto. Isolation move auto. AP bleed on. AP bleed out. Flight. Yeah, and now here is very important. I forget that. So what is our landing elevation? Excuse me. So what we have to do here is go to not ground service, excuse me, Avitop airports, and Atlanta, sorry, Los Angeles, We already done here. All right. Okay, we're gonna land on the 6 right. Okay, right, 6 right, right. This is Los Angeles. You know, 6 right will be for us an elevation of 110. So we go for 110. That means we have to go for 150. Okay. Okay, flight altitude and landing altitude should be set right now. Okay, 6 right. One more time, we're gonna check if that is 6 right. Yeah. Okay, 6 right, come on dude. A little bit faster here. 6 right. 6 right, elevation 110 and 150 flight altitude and landing altitude is set. Flight altitude, landing altitude is set. Precision mode selector now though, and wheel lights on, wing lights off, anti-collision lights, tail lights, logo lights on, ignition is on off position, APU is running, so you can see taxi lights, runway lights, and landing lights are off. Okay, over panel is checked, and flight director 1 and 2 is also set, and then we can reset here the, what was the correct, let me go here for METAR one more time. And then we already go, ready to go here. Was, du bist wie Touchlag an der Wanne, du. Bewildert. Nein, du bist bewildert. Okay, what the heck is going on here? Please, a little bit faster. Clocks. Okay. Do we have... Oh, no. Oh, not clocks. Oh, sorry. Kilo Lima Alpha Tango... Atlanta Harrisfield. Okay, we have still 307, visibility 10. The altimeter is 3012. So the air pressurization is 3012. The 3012 for the altimeter. Okay, also here. (3012) and also here we are good pilots, we have to do here 3012. Okay, 3012, 3012, 3012 and 3012 is the altimeter. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world. Harrisfield. Okay, wonderful. Okay, flight director is on. Everything is set. Oh yeah, and we have to do here the I also forget this. What is the climb initial climb clearance? Initial climb clearance is 10,000. Yeah, we can go for 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Okay, speed 153, 275 and 10,000. Wonderful. Okay, now then, what we go here for is the CTAR frequency on VOTSIM IP. One more time. And then we go for Kilo RTL, Kilo Alpha Tango Lima, Atlanta. And the CTAR frequency is 119.1. 119.1, and we're going to here dial here for 122.8. So 122.8, 119. Okay, 119, 119.1 and 119.1 and 122.8. Okay, okay, doors are closed. I'm going to do the outside check very quickly, if the first of all, yeah, I have to do here ground service. We doesn't have any of ground equipment who is actually connected to the aircraft. So we're going to do here an outside check and make sure that everything is disconnected. So we have no chocks and no ground cars or loader who is everything there. So the ground area is clear. And make a quick circle. Okay, all the doors are closed because 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, the doors 1 2 3 1 2 3. Doors on that side is closed, and then 1 2 3 1 0 2 1 0 2 1 0 2. And the forward cargo, after cargo is closed. Okay, good. Doors are closed, and sorry, my perfection sickness. All right, and now we go to Avitab Airport, and we go for taxi briefing because we need to do the taxi briefing. Oh yeah. Atlanta Harrisfield, please. Atlanta Harrisfield. We need to have airports. Airport, where's the airport parking gates? Also there, yeah. Okay, we are ramp 4, so we're going to the east. We are on the east on ramp 4, Delta 40 we are. Yeah, Delta 40, we are on ramp 4 and taking facing to the north. Okay, we're going via east, Foxtrot 4. Where's hold on a second. I have to have my note paper. I can write that. For November. East side, and we're going to taxi via Foxtrot 4. Correction. Yeah, Foxtrot 4, and then we're going to open Foxtrot 4 and on Echo. Foxtrot 4 and Foxtrot, we are here, Foxtrot 4, and then we're gonna do a right on Echo and taxi all the way on Echo for 2626 left, right. Okay, one more time cross check for November East, and then Foxtrot 4 and Foxtrot 4 for November, Foxtrot 4, and then east Echo, taxi by Echo, and then runway 26 left. Okay, taxi briefing is complete, and that means we just can do here the before start checklist. Before start checklist.
Papers.
On board.
Flight deck door.
Closed.
Closed and locked. Fuel.
Let's go here for payload. Fuel is 13,845 kilogram.
13,845 kilogram on board. Pumps on. Passenger signs.
On. Pumps on.
Window.
Window is locked. All windows are locked.
Locked. MCP.
MCP, okay, speed 153, heading 275 and altitude 10,000.
Speed 153. Heading 275. Altitude 10,000.
Perfect, okay.
Takeoff speeds.
Takeoff speeds, init, takeoff. Speed 150, B1 151, V rotate 152, and V2 153.
V1 151. V rotate 152. V2 153.
Right. Oh.
CDU pre-flight.
Complete.
Complete. Rudder and aileron trim.
Oh yeah, aileron, rudder and aileron trim, and you would do rudder and aileron trim is free and 0.
Free and 0.
5.7
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
is complete.
Complete. Anti-collision light.
Anti-collision light is on. Yep.
Before start checklist complete.
Alright, before start checklist complete, and then we can just going for the let's go here for 7. Yeah, I would say we are very near to 5.7. Yeah, let's go here. Okay, 5.7. Ground service request, better pushback, pre-planned pushback for November East.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay, first of all we have to call the, let's see where we are. You have to face to the north. Okay. Do we have, sorry guys. Do we have, still connect? Yep, okay. Okay. Atlanta traffic, good morning. Delta 575 is parking on ramp 5, Delta gate Delta 40. We are pushing back from the gate facing to the north on taxiway for east for November. Atlanta traffic. Okay, and then we can request pushback.
Cockpit, tow is driving up.
Do we have other aircrafts here? Come on. Yeah, we're pretty. It's pretty empty here. There's a Delta 849. He's actually, I think, arrived or he's, yeah.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, ready to connect. And looking good. Wind search.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right. First of all, we are going to release parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
Okay, engine number 2 start. Gonna watch until N2 is rising up to 25%, and then I'm gonna hit the fuel button to idle. Kicked in the fuel. 9, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Fuel. Check here the engine temperature, and then 1. Alright, and 2. Engine temperature is there, 482, and 1 is there. Okay, engine number 1 starts. The same process on the left side again. Wait until N2 is rising up to 25%, and then we kick in fuel here. (21, 23, 24, and 25) fuel. We check one more time engine temperature. Rising up, N1 is coming, wonderful, engine temperature is 140, perfect, N1 is coming, N2 is also rising up to 59%, everything is running normally. Alright, we have a clean start of both engines, and then we just can hit here, the prop heaters go on. Oh yeah, but first set parking brake.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
And then we just can turn on back the packs here, and then we can hit here engine, and we can go to generator on engine generator, go switch it from AP generator to generators, and that means we can turn off AP bleed, and we can say
Route a cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
oh no, I don't want to go this. Oh fuck, I hit the wrong button. Shit. Hold on a second. Okay, first of all, and then what do we set? Fuck off, man. AP generator, yeah, and then we can turn off APU, and we're gonna switch here to continuous the engines, and everything is perfect. Okay, and that means the pushbacker disconnect. Alright, and then we're gonna do here the very quick cross check here one more time. Okay, ELT guard, does this check, position left to the right, that's 1 2 nav. Okay, that is already checked, blah blah, flight control, pressure, rutch. Okay, this is looking good, IRS, blah blah, search, auto, and crossfade off, and all fuel pumps are on. Yeah, this is already checked. AP generator is checked, standby power, a ground power is removed, generator 1, generator 2, AP generator is disconnected, invite, okay, so generator 1 is set here, produces enough power, area bar guard is on, we have a set, blah blah, ground power disconnected, AP generator disconnected, and generators are on, perfect, and wipers are off, and yeah, circuit breakers and panel lights are off, and circuit breakers, service interface on brains off, circuit breakers and panel lights off, keeping cooling normal, and emergency lights are armored, no smoking, and fasten seatbelt sign is, yeah, we got on, and wipers are off. Okay, wipers are off, okay, that is already checked, blah blah, occasion, and then we go here for window heaters, wind readers are on, probe heaters are on, and wing anti-ice are off, and hydraulic pumps are on, and all doors are hatches are closed. Doors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the doors are closed. All the doors are closed, and cabin pressure is checked, neutralized, normal. And here one more time. Yeah, looking good, looking good, looking one more time. Okay, looking good. Voice recorder out, air temperature check, thermometer is on. Voice recorder out, air temperature check, thermometer is on. Good, rake fans, auto, packs, auto, AB bleed off, engine bleed on, flight altitude, landing altitude set, was electro and auto, and perfect, wheel lights off, wheel lights on, wing lights off, anti-collision lights, steady lights, low lights on, ignition is on continue, AP off, then we can turn on taxi lights, and runway lights, and landing lights. So, and I hope right now, yeah, for some reason, the ground thing is, yeah, we can check here also now. Then we go to rejected takeoff, set flaps 5. Yeah, actually, first of all, flaps 5. I hope I don't block anything here because I'm a little bit slow here with the timing. Flaps 5 is gonna be set for takeoff.
Ready for before taxi procedure.
Not quite
Flaps
yet.
5 set.
All right, okay. For some reason, I need to set the ground service here. Terminate.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, disconnecting tow. Thank you very much. All right, okay. And then we have N1. N1 is running normally, engine power rate, and N1 is running normally, engine temperature is running normally, N2 is running normally, fuel is running normally, oil pressure is there, oil quantity, oil temperature is 79 degrees, oil quantity is 18%, and oil quantity is there, and wipe is normal, 1.6%. Okay, then we can go to system, check the hydraulics is there, hydraulic quantity, hydraulic quantity is there, and pressurization is there. Okay, then we're gonna do here full up. Oh, sorry guys. Full up, full down, neutralized. Full left, full left, and full right, neutralized. Rudder, full left, full right, and neutralized. Okay, flight controls are checked. And that means we can go to engine and second display can be go off. And then we are checklist procedure before taxi procedures. So
before taxi procedure.
we're gonna do here a master caution check. No lights. Wanna see what you're doing? Okay, looking good.
Before taxi procedure complete.
And now before taxi checklist, please.
I am ready for before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
On.
Yep.
Probe heat.
Probe heaters are on.
On. Anti-ice.
Off. Wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice off.
Wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off.
Alright.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Auto. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Continuous. Recall.
Checked. Recall is checked.
Checked.
You can check it twice. Recall is
Auto
checked.
brake.
Rejected takeoff.
Rejected takeoff. Engine start levers.
Idle detent.
Idle detent. Flight control.
Is checked.
Checked. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green lights.
Flaps 5 set. Green light. Detent. Ground equipment.
Is clear.
Clear. 4 taxi checklist complete.
Wonderful.
Ready for taxi.
Alright, perfect, and we're ready for taxi here. Okay, right is clear, left is clear, and then we give the taxi information for the other traffic. Atlanta traffic, Delta 575 taxiing to holding point runway 26 left, taxiing via East 4 November, Foxtrot 4 and right on Echo. Atlanta traffic. Okay. And yeah, let's say right is clear, left is clear. We can release parking brakes and give some power here. I have my hand throttle here. Give some thrust power. I can use also left or right, but I'm using always. Yeah, balanced. Okay, 4 November, and the next one, Foxtrot 4. Foxtrot 4, we have to go straight ahead here. Yeah, we're a little bit. Okay. Okay, 15, maximum is 20. Yeah, between 20 and 25, but I go for 20 here. Because we already delayed here. Now we're gonna go for idle reverse a little bit. Okay, we actually 12:30. Yeah, we actually almost 1 hour delayed here. Crazy. Yeah, 1 hour is also happening in real life. The pilots have 1 hour delayedness sometimes, but that is because of my preparation problem. Because we had a clear clear traffic, no ATC control. So yeah, this is I don't can find any excuses for that, because yeah, my preparation time was not good enough. Yeah, because I was so much spending time with resetting the streaming platform for the OBS streaming platform for the YouTube channel. I was resetting so much things there that I lost so much time with my planned takeoff time, and also I was explaining on my pre-flight here on the
Cabin
cockpit
crew,
too much that I
take
lost
your
also
seats,
a lot of
prepare
time.
for takeoff.
All right, we can turn on wing and guys. Wing light.
Minutes, flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you. Cabin is secured. Wonderful. And then gonna use this gate here, and we're gonna go all in the end of the runway using full length. Line up clearance.
Before takeoff procedure.
Oh, okay. He already.
Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff.
Before
Good.
takeoff procedure complete.
Wonderful. Okay, landing lights, runway lights on, taxi
Ready
lights
for
off.
before takeoff checklist.
Alright. Before takeoff checklist, please.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5 set.
Oh
Green
yeah,
light.
and I completely
Detect.
forgot. Ladies and gentlemen.
Stabilizer trim.
5.7 units should be.
5.7 units set.
Yeah, perfectly.
Transponder.
TARA.
TARA set. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Alright, okay, now I completely forgot to set the AI ATC, auto ATC for squawk, which is 7265. Sorry, 7265. Okay, and then I'm gonna squawk ident. Okay, TARA is 7265. One more time. Okay, 7265. 7265. Okay, is set, and then we are ready to go here. TARA. One more time. The squawk is ident, and then I'm gonna do here. Landing lights is on. Landing lights on. Runway lights on. Taxi lights off. APU off. Ignition is on continuous as we said, and strobes are on. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. NASA 2 arrived, and we have the, what is our route again? The NASA 2 departure, departing to the west. Okay, nobody's coming, and we're gonna give the ATAC traffic, I mean the traffic here information. Atlanta traffic, Delta 575 lining up runway 26 left and taking off via the NASA 2 departure via the west. Okay. Heading to the west, sorry, I should say that. Alright, okay, we are lining up. Okay, we can turn on the outer thrust, and VNF and LNAV can be turned on, and then we can set here the clock. Yeah, it's a little bit slow here with the thrust. I give a little bit more thrust here.
Runway
Dear
26
passengers,
left
we're
confirmed.
ascending to our cruising altitude. During this time, we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened.
Okay.
Shortly, we will commence our in-flight service. You can browse our selection
I
of
am ready for
refreshments and
takeoff.
meals in the Sky menu, conveniently located in your seat pocket.
Okay.
Liebe Fluggäste, wir steigen auf unsere Reiseflughöhe. Währenddessen bitten wir Sie, sitzen zu bleiben und
Set
Ihren
time.
Sicherheitsgurt geschlossen zu halten. In Kürze beginnen wir mit dem
Okay.
Bordservice. Unsere
Set time.
Auswahl an Erfrischungen und Mahlzeiten
Halt deine
finden
Fresse,
Sie
Mann.
im
Scheiße.
Sky-Menü,
Why did
das sich in der Sitztasche vor Ihnen befindet.
Okay, Atlanta traffic, Delta 575 taking off runway 26 left. Okay, then 40%. 40% and 1. Wait.
Stabilized.
And thrust stabilized and thrust power. Yeah, this is sometimes happening. Is kicking off.
Takeoff thrust set.
This is really annoying. Okay, takeoff thrust is set. Thrust is set. 92%. Okay, airspeed arrived.
80 knots.
Checked.
Throttle hold.
Yeah.
V1.
V1 rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Whoops, the sensitivity here. Okay, a little bit to the right here. And we're going to do autopilot 1. Autopilot 1 is on. And I would say flaps 1, flaps 2.
Flaps 2 set. Acceleration altitude.
Hey, wonderful. Perfect. Woohoo, nice. Absolutely nice. Okay, flaps 2, and then we're going for flaps 1. Flaps 1.
We are now starting our in-flight
Flaps
service.
1 set.
We'd like to remind you that we accept card payments as well as cash. You can find our Sky menu in the seat pocket in
And
front of
flaps
you.
up.
Please remain seated while we serve you. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask one of our cabin crew members. Thank you. Wir starten jetzt unseren Bordservice. Wir möchten
Flaps
Sie daran
upset.
erinnern, dass wir sowohl Kartenzahlungen als
Perfect.
auch Bargeld akzeptieren. Unser Sky-Menü finden Sie in der Sitztasche vor Ihnen. Bitte bleiben Sie
After
sitzen,
takeoff.
wenn wir Sie bedienen. Wenn
Checklist.
Sie etwas benötigen, zögern Sie bitte nicht, eines unserer
After
Kabinenpersonalmitglieder anzusprechen. Dankeschön.
Engine bleeds. On. Hacks. Auto. Landing gear.
Up and off.
Up and off. Flaps.
Up.
Up. No light. Detent. After takeoff checklist down to the line complete.
Okay, Atlanta traffic Delta 575 is already to airborne. We're passing 6,900, passing 7,000 feet. Clear the runway. 26 left. Happy landings. Atlanta traffic. Okay, wonderful. 10,000. We go here for directly flight level 340. Perfect departure. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I was a little bit off course because I did react a little bit late with the hand because after before I was doing you couldn't do a manual for a while and then you gotta switch to autopilot. But I was a little bit I didn't react at the same time with the flight director, so that's why I was a little bit off course. But it's not a big deal. The agency traffic there doesn't see the difference.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches off.
Okay, wonderful. Perfect takeoff, and yeah, we're gonna switch to next. $10,000, landing lights up. Yep, thank you. Co-pilot. See, the co-pilot does everything so that I can absolutely focus on my flight. And so I don't forget anything to reset the landing lights or the runway lights. The good thing also, the ignition, she also do at the correct position. So this is very helpful if you have a co-pilot. So you can relax on, just like in real life, that the co-pilot does the resetting stuff and on the aura panel, so that the pilot can absolutely focus on the flight. It's absolutely a reliever, vertical reliever. All right, okay, landing lights. Yeah.
Anytime the seatbelt sign is on, even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices. And a listing of these devices can be found in Spare Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh...
Passing 250, 280, and 14,000, looking good. And when enough.
Purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as our fresh eats items can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 50% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies...
Yeah, it's very funny. You hear the cabin service announcement.
Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Alright, okay, so the next one is okay, passing 18,000 feet, and
Takeoff was great. We will see your landing.
thank you. Okay, 280, obviously more than 5,000.
Approaching transition.
Yeah, and one LNAP speed and one LNAP speed is set. The ground speed is 224 at the moment, and we are now so 7.4 miles. Let's see, fix Atlanta. Yeah, Actually, at 40 miles, we can turn off the. We can go to 122.8.
Transition altitude.
Set standard.
Standard set, not cross-checked. Passing flight level 18,138 now.
Right.
Please check barrow on your side.
Yeah, my barrow is checked after takeoff.
Ready for after takeoff checklist below the line. After takeoff checklist below the line.
Okay.
Altimeters. Standard set, cross-checked.
Okay, standard, standard, standard.
After takeoff checklist below
Load
the
line complete. Wonderful. Okay, 90,000, flight level 200. And it's time to set fasten seatbelt sign off.
As you can see, the seatbelt sign has been turned off. You may now move around the cabin, but we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened while seated in case of unexpected turbulence. Wie Sie sehen, wurden die Anschnallzeichen ausgeschaltet. Sie können sich jetzt in der Kabine bewegen. Wir empfehlen Ihnen jedoch, im Sitzen jederzeit angeschnallt zu sein, um Verletzungen bei unerwarteten Turbulenzen zu vermeiden.
Okay, passing flight level 200, and yeah, the rest is set. Anger is our next waypoint. Good, and we can check the frost power, 98.89%. Okay, 92, 4.4 yeah, 4.8 almost. All pressure is checked, all temperature is there. Okay, wonderful. Everything works normally. Then we have to, and we're going to check the cabin pressure. At flight level more than flight level 200, yeah, we'll be around 4,500 feet at 6, and carrying altitude is 400, perfect. And I'm going to check the temperature is still normal room temperature of 21 to 22 degrees Celsius. That is perfect. So the passengers experience normal room temperature, perfect. Everything works normal. And we are up and up in a way to Los Angeles. And yeah, it's important in the meantime that we also check if there is any ATC controllers on our current position where we fly heading to right now. So we are here right now. We already took it off, and following here the route. So there is only incoming airplane, but the ICAS will be warning us if we are in a very colliding course, or yeah, in a very dangerous zone. But as we can see here, there's only a ground ATC, but this is not affecting us in any way. This has nothing to do with us, so this is only for ground. But we doesn't have here a center, we doesn't have here any center ATC controller. So that means this is a center, you know, he controls a lot of land airspace. So that would be important for us, or that it will be, yeah, that will be concerning us when we have a center, but we doesn't have any ATC activity here in our route. So that's why we can stay on we can go. Actually, I think right now to monitor Unicom 122.8 because yeah, the 40-mile range is finished, so we just can go switch to 122.8, and we're good. Yeah, some light. Yeah, as you can see, some light turbulence here, very light turbulence. The wing flex. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful view here. Clear, very nice weather so far, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, just some few turbulence here, very light turbulence. Not even severe. Far away from severe turbulence. Cloudy here. Passing flight level 265, perfect, and right now we doesn't have a lot to do. It's just right now. It's also in real life like that. You don't after you're airborne and after you passing, I would say 10,000 feet. There is nothing a lot to do, just except to watch and check that the system here on board everything works normally. But yeah, in the meantime, you're just sitting, watch, and everything runs here with the ICAS page and with the flight, everything normal. But you're just watching and control. But you doesn't have a lot to do. So in the meantime, I get myself out of frost is kicked off. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, because the sensitivity. But yeah, in the meantime, it doesn't have a lot to do, except there was a. But this is not. There is another system problem. There is because why the alpha frost was kicked out because the sensitivity of my frost levers that I'm using in my house is very high, and that's why when I actually smash my hand to the table, it can be that the outer frost kicked off, and this is exactly what I did. But anything so far after 10,000 feet, you doesn't have a lot to do. Just watch that everything runs normally here with with the system, with the displays. Everything flies normally. Yeah, we doesn't have an oil pressure too high or anything. Everything works normally on the ICAS and the flight. So yeah, you just watch and control in the meantime. You doesn't have a lot to do. That is the relaxing part for the pilots, you know. And in the meantime, I get myself a coffee because we have still good less than 4 hours to fly. Yeah, because in the meantime it's very quiet here up here in the sky of USA. There is no way to see activity here, and looking good. In the meantime, I get myself a coffee, and I also have a lot of work to do with my new job employment. So that's why I have to talk with my chief that I work in the airport after we get leveled off, and because I have to call him, and I don't can let you hear that. So after we level it up, I'm gonna switch you to the break window, and then you hear me. You hear me later. What's going on? I will reconnect very soon then. In about 20 minutes, something like that. Alright, at 30,500 feet we are already passing here, so come on. Only 4,000 feet left of my flight. Yeah, a little bit light turbulence. There is no mild or severe. Not moderated or severe turbulence either, so there is no need to be necessary to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign for the passengers. So far is not a bad turbulence, only light, so I can let it switch it off. Alright, looking good. Top of climb point is very soon reached, so we can actually yes, zoom a little bit out. Pressurization should be good here. Should be around 6 or 7,000. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 6 and yeah, I would say 6,200 feet cabin altitude, and we're almost 8.0. That is good, and to around 100, 200 feet cabin climbing. That is perfect, and yeah, temperature we're gonna check later. Looking good. Everything. We have no warnings about the air pressurization or air conditioning either, so everything works perfectly fine. Wonderful. Top of climb point is very soon reached. Let's see how the optimum. Yeah, still flight level 356. Wait until it's going to fly. Our optimum flight will be 360, and then we go for flight level 360. But at the moment, while we're gonna stick on our planet cruising flight level 340. So that means right now only 1,000 feet remaining. The ground speed is also getting good, 400. Because we have a strong crosswind actually at the moment, almost strong headwind of 60 miles, strong front wind. Actually, the wind is coming from this. We are here, and the wind, actually we are here, we're flying like this, and the wind is coming from this side. That's actually from here, on the right side, a little bit on the right side, a little bit crosswind here. He's blowing us. The wind is coming from this side and blowing us into the crosswind a little bit. Now that slows us down because 60 miles is yeah. One of the moderate, strong crosswind here. It's a little bit strong here, very strong actually, a little strong here. So that's why our ground speed here is, yeah, it's actually a little bit low here. It's normal. We are slower because we have strong crosswind here. We can fly much more faster. But that was to expect it because it's every time the same. When you're flying, you always have west. The jet stream with the wind is coming always from the west in the USA. So yeah, especially on that here, when you fly from, for one example, from New York, which is wait, hold on a second. New York is somewhere here. Yeah. No, this is Philadelphia. Where is New York again? Yeah, here, New York. 1 second, when you fly from New York to, when you book a flight from maybe from New York to San Francisco, you always, when you're flying this part of the USA, you always, when you fly always west in the USA, you always have west wind. The wind is coming always from the west to the east. So when you're flying this, you have always a west wind who slows you down. You always have cross or front wind. But when you fly from west to east, you have tailwind. This is absolutely normal. This is a nature thing. You can change that. And especially now, it's not so heavy. But in the winter, the front wind is much more higher than 60 miles. It's about 120, 150 nautical miles. And then when you fly from east to west, you have to prepare much more extra fuel in order to make that flight. Otherwise, you're running out of fuel. Alright, we are leveled up at flight level 340. I completely missed that. Check that. Okay, everything goes back to normal here, but it's normal because the engine is a little bit higher in the cruising power than normal because this is of the crosswind, and the plane is still also heavy. And we are in a very high altitude. Actually, we're at a higher altitude. The air is much more thinner in English, much more lighter. Thinner. It's not fat. It's much more thinner, and it means the engine have much more running, especially with the weight and crosswind. We have the engine, yeah, struggle a little bit more or running a little more. But right now it's going back to normal, I see. But yeah, we can check here the cross check. We're going to do the cross check number 1, which is we have the 2 degrees pitch. Air indicated speed is 274 at the moment at flight level 340. The Mach speed is decimal 79 in the that we set in the cruising, and it is decimal 79. And FM speed, LNAV and VNAV pad is set. FM speed, LNAV, VNAV pad is both sides showing it. That is good. And the ground speed is actually almost 400. So yeah, 396, and the wind is coming 294 with 263, and next waypoint is Yull, which this is the transition waypoint of our departure route, the departure SID. Okay, then N1 is looking good, 91.5% at the moment. Engine temperature looking good, N2 is looking good, and the fuel is at 2.8. Actually, I usually like the 2.6. Usually it's 2.6 normal, but yeah, when we have a very optimum cruising wind and like, but actually it's 2, yeah, it's 3, but this is normal because yeah, we have to also turbulence. The engine goes a little bit up and down, is normal, but it's so far the fuel is normal, and cruising oil pressure is good, looking good, 87%, and oil temperature is 1 and 3, that's good. Oil quantity is 18%, and vibe is 1.4. Wonderful. It's air. It's okay. And then we're gonna check here. The air temperature is still normal temperature of 22 to 21 to 22 degrees Celsius. Perfect. And one more time, the cabin pressure 5, 6, yeah, 6.5, and altitude 6,500 is altitude, cabin altitude, and almost 8.0. And the climbing is on neutral. Perfect. Cabin pressure is checked, everything running normally. And the next cross check, and oh yeah, we also check here the hydraulics, of course. Hydraulic pressure is there, normal. And the next cross check is in 1 hour. That means from now on at 1454 Zulu time is the next cross check. Actually, UTC. And we just took it off 27 minutes ago. It was airborne. Okay, 1354 and 1454.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to
Yeah.
offer our in-flight shopping service during this portion of your journey. Whether you're looking for a thoughtful gift, a travel essential, or just something to indulge yourself,
Yep.
we've got you covered. Flip through the catalog in your seat pocket and let our crew know if you have any questions.
Alright.
We accept payments in cash or by card. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, wir freuen uns, Ihnen während dieses Teils Ihrer Reise unseren Einkaufsservice an Bord anbieten zu können. Egal, ob Sie ein nettes Geschenk, ein Reissäugensiegel oder einfach nur etwas für sich selbst suchen, wir haben das Richtige für Sie. Blättern Sie durch den Katalog in Ihrer Sitztasche und wenden Sie sich bei Fragen an unsere Crew. Wir akzeptieren Zahlungen in bar oder mit Karte.
And this is the true thing. You know, they're talking about before I getting off here, before I gonna do a break here. I just wanna remind you. This airline announcement about Delta, when they're talking about we only accept credit cards, is true, because I hear that from a friend in America. I never was flying in real life I never was flown so far in real life with Delta Airlines. I was never flying with Delta Airlines so far in real life. But I hear from a friend who living in the USA, a Twitch friend. He says this is true. In Delta Airlines, they only accept credit cards. It's really strange. It's really crazy, because in our country where I am living in Europe, I living in Switzerland, but in Central Europe, all the Europe airlines like Switzerland, or I mean German, how can I say, Swiss Airline, or the Lufthansa, Eurowings, and all other kind of European airlines. When you book a flight, and most of the European airlines have, when you book a flight, yes, it pretends how long the flight goes. When the flight goes 3-4 hours, for our example, you have food included your booking price. But the crazy part is, in Delta Airlines, it doesn't matter how long the flight goes. I think you have to pay everything with credit cards. It's actually, I think, a shame, I hear, because the only thing what they give you is sometimes a coffee and some small snacks or something, but that's it. The rest, when you want to have food or something, you have to pay separately with your credit card. This is actually, I think this sounds not really nice. It sounds okay. I can understand it. Maybe okay. Maybe it's that because this is a short flight. It's only for credit card. For longer flight, it's a one meal included. I don't know. But for short flights for 2 hours, food and drinks are, yeah, you have to pay separately. But imagine, even for short flights in Sweden, for one example, when you fly with Swiss airline or with Eurowings, it doesn't matter if it's a short or a long flight. You always when you pay the ticket, the food and drinks, I mean the snacks and the drinks and small foods are included in the price. You doesn't have to pay separately. In the most of the European airlines, not all. Alright, yeah, we are leveled off, and I told you guys I have to send you to the break window because I have to call my chief on my work, because I have to call my boss in my work, because in order to get for my new job I have to talk with him right now. I don't can let you hear that because this is private and it's not good very for you know, copywriting problems or something like that. It should be it's very important to have the that it's actually private. And we go out, Captain get his coffee, and the co-pilot will watching. In the meantime, the pilot get his coffee from the cabin, and I also get my coffee very soon. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna send you to the break window, and yeah, it's how can I say? Yeah, we're gonna see us in the next 20 minutes. See you later. But I gotta let the wing view on. The only thing what I turn off is the camera and the microphone sound. But the rest I gotta turn on music, and we're gonna see us in the next 20 minutes. See you.